Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh. Bahashim. Yo, sorry. Bahashim or crocodiles, this all praises to the Lord, calls God his true name in the Hebrew, Yahweh. Bahashim in the name, Yahweh Shai be the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to you, hopeful elect brothers. Preaching his word and truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona Camp, Lord well with another video to edify. Yeah, and we can get into it, man. We at the end of the days, we at the end of this time, the time of Jacob's trouble is about to be here, and all these things that are happening in the news, articles popping out, it's showing you that the Lord is about to wrap up this time, right? And there's a lot of people that bullshit and playing games, and the Lord is revealing who are the real servants in these times. You got men selling prayers, selling Hebrew names when they received all this for free. They use the truth as a market for gain. And with them doing that, certain people that see their congregations they're turning to the true prophets, Great Millstone, right? The ones that aren't hirelings, right? But we're coming down to the time of real hell about to hit loose. We'll skip this. It says National Guard troops deployed. This is from End Times headlines. It says National Guard troops deployed to New York City subways amid rising crime. It says following a series of violent incidents in the New York City subway system, Governor Kathy Hochul announced a new 5-point safety plan that includes bringing in hundreds of National Guard troops and adding new security cameras. Hochul announced that a combined 1,000 personnel, including 750 National Guard troops along with MTA police, would be deployed in the subway system to help NYPD conduct bag checks in an effort to keep weapons off the trains. Let me just say very, very clear, these brazen, heinous acts on our subway system will not be tolerated, Hochul said Wednesday. Now, that's really enough with this article, but what you got to understand is this. When you pull in people, check in people's private property that are not public servants, they're operating under a different umbrella of rule, right? They're not public servants. National Guard is not a public servant job, right? This is a military job. Meaning they operate under military rules. It's not about any public service status. So all the back and forth, that hostility that people are going to come with, those talked about, those things will be when you pull in these people that aren't public servants, they don't deal with that bullshit. When all that back and forth starts happening, you're gonna see an escalation and straight up hostility happen. These troops that they're gonna bring in, these National Guard, right? It's only a matter of time till you see, okay, how many of these National Guard are actually those people that have been illegally migrating here, because they've been saying that they've been adding them and conscripting them into the U.S. military, fast tracking their citizenship. You're about to see a influx of just straight dogs out there, man. All hell is about to break loose. Let's get this. This is Jeremiah 30:5. Ask ye now and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning to paleness. Right? It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And that's what we're coming into. This is all spelling the time of Jacob's trouble. The more prophecy goes along, the more wickedness these people do. We'll get ready for all hell to break loose. We coming up on the Passover. This is officially the first day of the new year according to the Hebrew calendar, right? the correct Hebrew calendar. We are in the time of all hell about to start breaking loose, right? Right after the Passover, the church was persecuted. Yahushua was delivered up, right? Right after the Passover, all hell is about to break loose. All hell is about to break loose. It says, but he shall be saved out of it, right? And the ones that will be saved out of it is the elect. Everybody else, you're screwed. There's no hope for you. You're through, right? So let me get this, man. Because the day of the Lord is not a time of joking and playing. That time's far gone, right? The Lord sent out the message. He sent out the warning, right? This is Jeremiah or Ezekiel 30:2. It says, "Son of man, prophesy and say, thus said Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh. How again? Apologize for all the yawning, man. It says, thus said Yahweh power, how ye woe worth the day, right? For the day is near, even the day of Yahweh is near. It says, a cloudy day, it shall be in the time of it shall be the time of the heathen, and the sword shall come upon Egypt, and great pains shall be in Ethiopia, when the slain shall fall in Egypt, and they shall take away her multitude, and her foundations shall be broken down. Right? This is the all-out hell that's going to be here. I'm going to jump down. This is verse 6. It says, thus say Yahweh, they also that uphold Egypt shall fall. And a lot of Jake that are just, if you're in the mindset of using the truth for money, you're upholding yourself in Egypt. Right? We understand that which prophet not in the day of evil. We're not going to sit here and use the words, the Lord's word, like a marketed game, like it belonged to us. These are the Lord's words. It says, they also that uphold Egypt shall fall, and the pride of their power shall come down. The tower of Sinai shall they fall in it by the sword, say Yahweh, and they shall be desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities shall be in the midst of the cities that are waste. And they shall know that I am Yahweh when I have set a fire in Egypt, and when all her helpers shall be destroyed. And that's the time we coming into. But before that, all hell has to break loose. Civil war, civil unrest, right? Sedition. Let's get that. 2 Ezra 6. I think 6:20 says, give me a second. Type it in. Second Ezra 15:16. It says, start at 15. It says, for the sword and destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand and fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, in the course of their actions to stand in their power. People are going to take it upon themselves to do whatever they feel is right. So when you're talking about troops on the ground, well, at some point, that violence is going to be against them too, because you got these immigrants here that come from countries that they don't give a fuck about what military branch are you in, whether or not you're a police officer or not. Then you got niggas that are just outrageous and unruly. Heads are about to roll. That's the gist of it. Heads are about to roll. Right? Get this go back over here. I had what I wanted to get off of this. Amos 5. In 18 it says, woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on a wall, and a serpent bit him. You're going to go from one trouble to the next. This is what the day of the Lord is like. Right? There's people that call themselves Israelites that have been doing all this bullshit the whole time, and yet they're praying for the day of the Lord. Well, you know that you're Israelite, great. You wear your fringes, great. Right? But then you still do the shit that the Lord hates. Right? Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very darkness and no brightness in it? This is how it's going to be. This ain't going to be a joyous time. Right? For brothers that have been doing the right thing, well, the Lord promised that he would what? In famine, we should not see hell. Right? Our children should not see hell. It says, they shall thirst, but you shall drink. Right? They shall hunger, but we shall be fed of the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing. This is what's going to happen, but the day of the Lord is coming. The Jacob's trouble is near. All hell is about to break loose. These things are going to go up and up. It's going to get worse and worse. Right? It's not a fun, not a joyous time. But there's men that are about to have their Passover in this joyous fashion, right? Here it is. I'm going to get this one. Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, the great day of Yahweh is near. We know this, man. In the New Testament, right here, 1 Peter 4:7, it says, but the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watching the prayer. And this is part of the watching. Looking at these things and seeing how this stuff can build into prophecy. What ties into prophecy? It's a watching. You got to pray that the Lord deliver you out of these things. It says, the great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. You see? The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. It says that day is a day of wrath and trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fifth cities, against the high towers. All hell, right? And I will bring distress upon men. They shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh is not. Meaning a large amount of people are just going to have their candlesticks blown out, bodies throughout the streets, right? It says, neither their silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, on into when the nuclear missiles hit. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell upon earth. And this is what this time is for, man. Lord will, this kicks up into all these things, all these states. Every one of these states need to have something like this going out. Right? We in those times, man. Stay vigilant. Stay prayed up. Right? Show more brotherly love and more mercy and compassion. Shalom.